Greetings, beautiful ones. Welcome to the Monday Moon Muse, in which I share my insights on the week ahead based on the enlightening system of Vedic astrology. So this week we have a very big transit. I feel like April is just this way. I mean, it's like kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. So many big dynamic changes happening, which can be really unsettling. I mean, as you've probably noticed. But the big change that's happening, and it started already, is the sun is moving into his position of exaltation in the Vedic chart. So this week, he kind of dominates the moon. Um, However, Moon is going to make a grand debut by the end of the week on Sunday, which is a very auspicious day, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But the sun is the really big central player right now in the astrological landscape. And he's moving into what is called the Gandanta. The Gandanta, it sounds like a Latin dance. But what it means in Sanskrit is the knot's end, the slip knot, and or the karmic knot. And so it can really be very difficult emotionally sometimes to navigate when significant planets like the sun move into this knot's end or the karmic knot. It reminds me of that scene in Lord of the Rings when Gandalf the Grey dives into the abyss chasing after the dragon, right? And that was the end of the first movie. Sorry if it's a spoiler if you haven't seen it, but it's so old. I mean, imagine everybody's seen it. But anyway, he goes into that abyss and the movie ends. And then the next movie in the sequel, he has transformed from Gandalf the Grey to Gandalf the White. And there's that magnificent scene in the opening when he gallops out on that white horse with his white mane flailing behind him. So karmic knots are places of deep transformation. And they happen when a planet, this is the techno speak, they happen when a planet moves from a water sign into a fire sign. Sort of like the island of Hawaii. It rises up from the ocean, this from fire deep within the water. It's a contradiction. And that's what's troubling about it when planets move through the slip knot or the end knot. It just seems to contradict everything. Just look at the news then and you can see just one big contradiction after another or in your life. But really what the sun is moving toward is, as I mentioned, his position of exaltation. And that takes place in the sign of Aries. So Sun is moving into the sign of Aries, happens the same time every year. He goes exalted, which really brings up the question of ego. Sun indicates ego in the Vedic tradition. And ego, it gets a really bad rap, especially nowadays with all this knowledge that we have about narcissistic personality disorder. And it seems everybody's a narcissist, especially if they disagree with us or anything like that. But we really want to understand that ego is not bad in and of itself. Absence of ego is actually far worse. We need some kind of sense of self. This is what we're given in this human birth. We're given an opportunity to experience separation. And that's what the ego brings us, that sense of I'm separate from you. And that's actually a very important part of our growth. It's also important to have self-worth and self-esteem. In the Vedic chart, your second house, which indicates self-worth and self-esteem, if it's afflicted, or if your sun is afflicted, it becomes really difficult to realize your purpose in life. So ego is important for that. But we have to know what ego is. In Sanskrit, the word is ahankara, which means the I maker. It's the I maker. It's not who you are. It's a construct that's based on all the information that we process in our mind and together with that sense of separation. The yogi goes deeper than the I and knows how to use it, knows how to drive it like a car. This is the opportunity of the sun going exalted. It can actually give you a lot of energy and enthusiasm, especially toward your career, toward your life's ambition, toward what you really want. That's how it serves as a vehicle. Of course, when it's out of control, we know the problems of it. So this is also a time to be a little gentle with your sense of I, your I maker. The sun is going to be in the Gandanta, the karmic knot, until the 17th of April. And then he'll be full on in the sign of Aries. So things will start to settle down after 17th of April, leading to the great crescendo of this week, which is an observation, an astrological moment when both the sun and the moon are in an exalted position in the zodiac. Sun is in the sign of Aries exalted, and on the 19th, next Sunday, the moon is going to be exalted in Taurus. And this is a rare moment. This is called Akshaya Tritiya, the third lunar phase of the waxing lunar cycle in which both sun and moon are exalted, and it's considered to be a highly auspicious day, especially for prosperity, for the building of wealth. But it's also very valuable for building spiritual wealth. It's said that anything that you do or you start on this day, or whatever practices you engage in, their effects increase in a manifold way, like millions of times. I forgot like how many times, but it really has a tremendously positive effect, whatever you do. So it's really a good day to focus on something positive, growthful. If you're starting a new business or initiative, this is a really good time to put it into motion. Any spiritual practice that you do this day will increase your happiness and your peace. So that's how the week ends. It begins a little rough, and it starts to really smooth out by the 17th. The egoic feathers that have been ruffled start to settle down, and Moon goes into his favorite spot in the zodiac, which is Rohini, which is the rose-colored, seeing things optimistically. All right, my dears, so these are my thoughts on the week ahead. Thanks for tuning in to the Monday Moon Muse, and I'll be back next week. If you have anything to share, please leave a comment. I always love to read the comments. And if you don't know your moon sign and you would like to know, you can check out my moon sign calculator. I've included the link below. You just add your birth information and your moon sign would pop up. And if you want a deeper dive into the beautiful 27 Vedic moon signs of the Vedic zodiac, please check out my book, Moon Signs for the Soul. It's available on Amazon, and I've included the link below as well. Okay, friends, see you next week. Sending you lots of love as we navigate these egoic waters. Take care.